state television company Western Armenia represents the most important news for today's broadcast. A new scourge for Artsakh soldiers. The 46th anniversary of Artsakh movement. Who guards Kapan? We and our place names. Hatdejian and Sar Aslan have been awarded. Navalny's memory was honored near the statue of Charents. A new disaster for Artsakh soldiers. The State Commission of Prisoners of War, Hostages and Missing Citizens of Azerbaijan considers it necessary to involve the Armenian commands and other authorized persons in the search for the burial place of Azerbaijan who disappeared in 19th, informed APA agency, and wrote about it. The Commission believes that those who led the military operation before 1994 may have sufficient information on the location of the mass graves. The National Security Service of the Republic of Eastern Armenia announced Yerevan's readiness to cooperate with Baku in finding out the fate of missing persons. The 36th anniversary of Artsakh movement in 1988, on February 20, the extraordinary session of the Convocation of Council of People's Deputies of the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic adopted a decision to appeal to the Supreme Court Council of the Azerbaijan SSR and the Armenian SR to deeply understand the aspirations of the Armenian population of Nagorno-Karabakh and resolve an issue of transferring Nagorno-Karabakh from the Azerbaijan to Armenian. At the same time, to meditate before the Supreme Council of the USSR for a positive solution to the issue of transferring Nagorno-Karabakh from the Azerbaijan to the Armenian. On February 27-29, a massacre of the Armenian population was organized in the city of Sumgait in Azerbaijan, which was accompanied by murders, rapes, pogroms and robberies, and then the wave of Armenian pogroms spread throughout Azerbaijan. Large-scale rallies were launched in Yerevan in support of the fair demand of the people of Nagorno-Karabakh. Who guards Kapan? The media of Eastern Armenia writes that the president of Iran met the Armenian delegation led by Deputy Prime Minister Mahir Grigoryan, illegally warned that Tehran will not approve the decision of Eastern Armenia to withdraw Russian troops and replace them by the Western security system. There is no doubt that Iran does not want that Western troops be appeared in the region, especially near the Armenian-Iranian border. But it is obvious that Iran would more like not to see Russian troops there. And in this context, it is obvious that the thesis of Iran's disagreement with the withdrawal of Russian troops was introduced by Moscow. In fact, in Iran, unlike many Armenian circles, they clearly see that the Russian troops are acting together with the Turkish troops, using Baku as a tool. According to the international media, Baku did not reprimand Israel for its actions in Gaza, despite Islamic solidarity. Iran sees Erdogan making dramatic statements against Israel to justify himself, while Baku continues to supply Israel with oil and much more even. Russia continues its presence in Artsakh, and under the gaze of the Russian-Turkish center located in Ankara, Israel together with Baku turns the occupied Karabakh territories bordering Iran into an anti-Iranian springboard. Why should Iran want Russia troops to be in Armenia after this? In addition to this, Iran is doing everything to show that only the presence of Tehran restrains the forces that want to occupy the south of Armenia. Yesterday, the Consul General of Iran in Kapan, Mortaza Abedin Karami, said in an interview to News AM that he will remember the opening day of the Iranian consulate in Kapan. Compared to that day, people in Kapan feel calmer. The situation has been seen in this real assessment of the Russian troops guarding the Armenian-Iranian border. We and our place names. In the Shirak province of Ararat province of Metz hike, more than 48 kilometers to the southeast of the city of Kars, 23 kilometers southwest to the historical capital of Armenia, Ani, 3 kilometers west of the Tekor temple on the right side of the Ahujan river. On the left side of the upper stream of the Tekor tributary, there is the Katsonuk monastery with 5 glorious churches, which was renamed by Turks to Besh Kilisa, in which Besh means 5 and Kilisan means church. At the beginning of the 20th century, the monastery was abandoned and deserted, so especially in 1915, after the genocide committed against Armenians organized by Turks, in order to completely eliminate the traces of Armenians from the territory of their homeland. Historical Armenian, the Turks begin to quickly rename Armenian geographical names mainly in the above ways and methods, as a result of which in the territory of today's Turkey, a significant part of which territory was occupied by Armenians since ancient times. Armenia, very few place names have been preserved. The ambassadors of the USA and Great Britain placed photos of the Russian opposition political Alexei Navalny in front of the statue of Charents. Yesterday, UK and US ambassadors honored the memory of Navalny near the statue of Charents. The statue of Charents was chosen to honor Navalny's memory and because Charents symbolize Armenian literature and philosophy and became a victim of the brutal Soviet system. This was all for today. Goodbye.
Քողազան չեցոց անգերն ինձ տուն բերեն Երբ դառնամ ես ողթող քո գրկում հանգչեմ Քեզ կիսելու բաժանել են նվիրելու ուրացել են Իմ սրտի ամեն մի զարկը թող արձագանքի Արցախ ես ամեն ինչը զուր չէ Սա մեր նոր վերածնունդն է Չի կիսում ոչ ոք քո ցավը Դիմանում ես լուր Արցախ Մի ծաղկով եկած գարուն